So growing up in the Midwest, I didn't really have a skate park growing up until the last couple of years I lived there. So we skated a lot of street spots. I had a group of friends, we'd always skateboard to school. So I mean, we were skateboarding at 6 in the morning to 7:30 when school started, to 3:30 school's out, to skating at school all the way until 7:30 at night. I've always skateboarded all the time, no matter what. Outside of school, I'd go to school and then skateboard. Eventually they got a skate park built, so in the winter time, it was tough to skateboard, and that's where I would snowboard a lot. So I transformed like my skateboarding onto snowboarding and some of my tricks, and that's how I learned how to do frontside 360s really well, is from snowboarding actually. When we got a skate park, and when I started skateboarding, I didn't really have one, so when we got one, it was like a big deal. You know, I didn't grow up where there's just a skate park down the street, and I was so used to going to it. It was like, whoa, now there's a skate park here, so I pretty much lived at that skate park. Every day I was there, and I really didn't think about it at the time, because that's where I wanted to be. That's where I love to do is skateboard. I never thought about, oh, I'm going to come here and I'm going to be pro and I'm going to do this career and it's going to turn this big ordeal. It was just more, I love to skateboard and I want to be there and I want to keep progressing skateboarding. So I mean, that's where another spot where I really got noticed and started getting some local sponsors behind me, like the Phase 2 Skate Shop and Beer City Skateboards, were just our local companies. They sponsored me because I was at the skate park so much, I was progressing. And they're like, whoa, this kid is actually doing something. And his friends as well. They sponsored some of my friends. So when I turned 18, I started coming to California a lot, and I figured I had to move out here if this is really what I want to do. This is where the industry is. This is where the filmers are, the photographers. This is where the mecca of skateboarding is. So at 18, coming out of high school, I made that move. And at first, I was only going to move out here for a year and just try it out and just kind of see how it goes. And I made so many connections, and I seen the possibilities that are out here, and the skate spots were so perfect and smooth because it never rains, or it never really rains, never snows, so there's no cracks on the sidewalks at the schoolyards, and the handrails are perfect. I just wanted to skate every single spot. Like I couldn't get enough of skateboarding. So that's really where I started pushing myself, and guys like Rodney Mullen and Daewon Song gave me the opportunity to be in the Round 3 video, which was the Almost video, is really where my name got really big. Once that video came out, I was next to some of the best pros in the world that are legends nowadays. Since I was in the video next to them, all the kids seen my name and instantly knew who I was. And so I guess that video part really changed my level of, you know, being an amateur skateboarder to turning pro and putting my name on a deck and actually making this a reality, you know. And at that time in my life, I was only 18, 19 years old, so I didn't really think of it as a career at the time. It just, well, now I'm pro and I'm getting paid some money and I'm able to pay my rent. Like, this is crazy, you know? So I never wanted to move out of California because I was like, man, I'm just gonna keep going. As that came along, you know, I met more and more people and more pros, and they introduced me to team managers, and team managers flowed me product and eventually put me on the team. And then when I turned pro, I, you know, came out my own signature sunglasses and shoes and skateboards and wheels and all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, the progression of skateboarding for me is every day, and the progression of my career is every day. And, you know, the older you get, you more realize, like, wow, this is something I can do for a living, and you take it a little more serious on the business side of things, or you have someone handling that for you to go out and get you sponsorship deals. When at the end of the day, what I like to do, I just like to skateboard every day. So that's where my focus is, and that's where it's always been. So I just, you know, I've taken opportunities like, you know, in my life, and, you know, took chances. I think chances is a big thing when you're growing up. I think, you know, that was one of the biggest things for me, is taking a chance and leaving my hometown and my comfort zone where my family and friends were, moving all the way across America to a spot where I really didn't know that many people. I just kind of took a chance and threw it out there and said, heck, if I'm back in a year, I'm back in a year, but at least I took that chance. And, you know, we're 10 years later and we're still out here and we're still skateboarding and able to do this, you know what I mean? And it's a blessing, and it's something I'm very grateful for doing. And, you know, I think number one, you know, goal for me, and I think for other people, is always, you know, why not, you know, don't be afraid to take a chance. You never know what's going to come out of it.